Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now, we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or, your father was right. You were an idiot, and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
Yay!
Hello, dear.
New Jack City.
Dun, dun.
All right. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. We are in 1991, and we are here to talk about and then review New Jack City. Okay, so we talk about what we remember in the trailer watch. So we'll get to that in just a minute. What do you think the budget was on New Jack City?
I think it was probably big. I think we're looking at probably 25 million.
All right, let's take a look.
Because the amount of people they had in it, God.
Wow. Oh, I'm not showing you.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
No, but I'm glad you're wowed by it.
All right, let's share. Do. $8 million.
Really?
Yeah.
So little?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too.
Yeah, that feels super low. Because they're taking over entire city blocks in this.
And I'm not 100%. It looked like New York to me. It might not have been.
No, they probably did film in New York. It very much looked like New York.
Yeah.
At least to me. But there were some very big sets. There was blood. There were lots of headshots. So I'm like, brain matter costs money. I'm like, $8 million. Wow.
Yeah, only $8 million. All right, let's take a look at the box office. I remember, but very young at this is just before we'll get there, but the soundtrack to this movie, I knew the words to almost every song, especially the gangster rap songs.
Can I tell you, when it starts and then all of a sudden I hear Queen Latifah's voice, I was like, oh my God, I miss her. I miss her music.
I was gonna say she's got a TV show. If
She's
you miss
still
her.
alive. She's got a TV show, but I miss her rapping was so good, and I miss that so much. And she even put out a jazz album that was really good too. I'm like, look at you, super multi-talented Dana Owens. What?
Well, I grew up in the hood, so it was really nice to hear that. It was an all white hood, and
we know those.
Surrounded by expensive homes and good schools, and but I knew all the worst of these songs. It made $47 million at the box office.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's not bad. $8 million, $47 million, 1991. I'm sure it's not breaking any records, but
no, but that's incredible.
And actually, if you look at this here, the most it ever had, because it did so well at the beginning, it started at 862 theaters and then got up to 905. That's even 1991. That's not a giant release.
No, it's not.
And it opened at number 2 with 7 million. Who got Silence of the Lambs? Oh, Silence of the Lambs in its 4th week was still number 1.
I mean, that's not surprising.
But it did come ahead of The Hard Way, which is another awesome movie with Michael J. Fox. Sleeping with the Enemy, The Doors, Dances with Wolves, Home Alone, Shipwrecked, Home Alone. What is it? This is March. Home Alone's still in the top 10.
Jesus.
Oh, look, it's at $245 million at this point. Jesus Christ, that movie made a lot of money.
I mean,
King Ralph, LA Story, He Said, She Said, Awake. Yeah,
I remember loving King Ralph.
yeah, I remember
It
liking
was
King
so
Ralph too.
funny.
That's with John Goodman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, 2 weeks in a row was at number 2, then dropped to 3, then 5, 6, 8, 8, 11, 12. So it had pretty good staying power.
It did. It did. And I can tell you right now, it probably didn't make it to more theaters because a lot of white neighborhoods wouldn't have been playing this.
Yeah, not my white neighborhood,
This was also
not my hood.
this was also when there was a lot of blowback for, you know, gangster rap and like the kind of more hardcore vulgar rap. Like
Mhm.
I think it was 1992. Like I was listening to Snoop Dogg in gym class. So I mean, it's like Doggy Style. I didn't fully understand all of it, but I was listening to it. But there was quite a bit of backlash, and there were a lot of like very, we'll say white parents. That a lot of them who were like, "You, this is rotting their minds," and I'm like, "Have you actually listened to the lyrics? Because my God, they're wordsmiths."
Yeah, you're right because in 1992, The Chronic came out, Dr. Dre's The Chronic, and
Mhm.
rushed right to the music store to get that
Yeah,
tape.
it was.
It was
It
a
was.
tape. We bought the tape.
Well, yeah, of course you bought the tape.
Yeah,
CDs were too expensive
yeah.
at that point.
We had NWA, we had Ice Cube, we had Ice T.
Ice-T, who
Bunch of
is in this.
white guys sitting around, the white kids.
It's
Oh,
really funny because, even though, like, I'm Portuguese, so I'm white, right? But I'm not white enough to be, like, super considered white, like, I'm off-white.
yeah,
So, in my neighborhood, we were all listening to rap, R&B, like, that was the music that we were listening to for the most part, and we were getting those mixtapes. So, it's super weird when I say, "Oh, yeah, like, white neighborhoods." I'm like, "My neighborhood was super white." Like, in my elementary school, I only had 1 black girl. Just 1. And I was like, "God, how," like, there was no diversity in my neighborhood, but my elementary school was also specifically built for the children of Portuguese immigrants, so that kinda skewed it.
yeah, yeah.
Anyways,
The white people kind of pushed you into a push. Oh, here's another ethnicity. Let's put them over in this corner.
well, I also
And
confused
somehow you
them.
all got out.
I confused them because I have olive skin and dark curly hair that's almost black, and my last name is Santos. So they're like, "You're not white." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"No, I am."
oh, isn't that cute? She thinks she's white.
Yeah, isn't that adorable? And I'm like, "God damn it. I'm from the land of colonizers."
All right. So, what do we think the reviews are going to be?
I think the reviews are gonna be amazing.
Let's take a look here.
Because
Let's
they
shift.
were definite this type of movie was not widespread before
No,
this.
yeah, and this just came out what, a year after Do the Right Thing,
Yeah,
and
a
this
year or
was
2, yeah, before after Do the Right Thing. It was Do the
where
Right Thing in
Do the Right Thing
1989?
was kind of like a culture shock to people.
Yeah,
This must have been like
this probably fucked people up, not gonna lie.
oh
And
my
then this
goodness.
was also the advent of, like, other movies like Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, after this, yeah, they a steady stream of movies that like that came
where
out.
it wasn't just the stereotype you were used to seeing, like, there were complexities to Black communities in movies, which was refreshing, and God, they were all so well done.
Well, 37 reviews, comes in at 81%, and a
Oh,
very only 25,000. This movie has not been seen enough.
no.
25,000 people, comes in at 80%. That's pretty good.
That's actually higher than I thought it would be.
Yeah, not the audience score. I because kids and younger people would have been
Oh,
would
100%.
have loved this movie. Like whether you grew up in a hood, a suburb. I mean, it had Ice-T and Wesley Snipes, and it was Gangster, and it had that music. Of course, they were gonna
The
wanna watch it.
music, the tracksuits.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
many tracksuits.
So much bling bling.
So much gold. Oh my god, it was
I'm like,
amazing.
"Holy fuck, I don't fall in a river, you'll drown." Jesus Christ,
So
Wesley.
true. Some of them were wearing, like, really, really thick chains, and I was like, "That must be so heavy."
I think last week I did the good reviews.
Okay. Yes.
So
I
you
believe.
can have the
Nope.
good, and I will look for
Wait,
some
I think
bad
I
here.
did. I do the good last
Did
year?
you do the good last?
I think I did the
Ooh,
good
what'd we
because
do
there weren't
last?
many goods.
Streets of Fire.
Yeah, and there weren't that many goods. I
Oh
think
yeah,
you
you
did
were
the bad
looking
ones.
for it. Okay, so
I was
you look for the
searching.
bad ones. I'll look for the
Okay.
good ones. Let's see here. Jeffrey M. Anderson, combustible celluloid, 3 out of 4. And he says New Jack City is steeped in blaxploitation filmmaking and is a good deal more stylish and more fun than, say, Boys in the Hood, released the same year. Was it released the same year?
Holy shit.
Huh.
We're gonna look this shit up.
Yeah, I like that. I like Boys in the Hood.
I loved Boys in the Hood. Let me rephrase. I remember loving Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
This podcast has made me question all my previous thoughts. TV Guide, coming in with an original score of 2.5 out of 4, says, "We all know New Jack City is making the right statement on drugs, racism, the system, etc. But the fact is, it's not very good."
Visceral exposition of the narcotics underbelly, fusing stark realism and narrative finesse. The protagonist portrayal impresses with an unorthodox blend of charm and menace. 5 out of 5. Odie for your reference podcast. Both my reviews come in at 2024 and 2023, so I'm going to look for something back in the day.
This one is from 2003. And it's from Richard Luck at Film 4. It says, "It's still entertaining, but New Jack City now feels about as edgy as an old razor, and it's just as disposable."
The movie was advertised, no doubt wisely, as a slam bang action adventure, but in fact, it's a serious, smart film with an impact that lingers after the lights go up. 3.5 out of 4. Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times.
Robert Roten of the Laramie Movie Scope gave this the original score of 2 out of 4. And he says, "One gets the feeling that a lot of the meaning of this film ended up on the cutting room floor." Interesting. That's all I got. That's it. There are a couple of
Mario Van Peebles. Yeah, ones with nothing on
yeah,
it.
with
Yeah.
nothing on it, yeah.
Desson Thompson, Washington Post. Mary Van Peebles' Drugland feature, a relentless hold on to your hat experience, rarely lets up.
Interesting.
All right, let's go to IMDb. Maybe. And I believe Ice-T made a song called New Jack City for the movie, but it was never featured in the actual movie.
No.
Which was disappointing. I was looking forward to it. Okay, so IMDb with 40,000. I thought that would even be higher. 40,000 user reviews, 6.6.
See, that's kind of what I was expecting, like in the 60 to
Yeah.
70% on Rotten Tomatoes. So this is kind of more of where I thought it would land.
Yeah.
A little higher on Rotten Tomatoes because we all know IMDb is not super in love with mainly black cast movies.
No?
No, they tend to rate a little lower on here than they do on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, so did I start with 10 last time?
I think you did.
Okay, so you can start with 10.
Okay.
I'll go to 9.
A watershed moment in cinema. Samandy John. 10 out of 10.
Well, here's one from Jersey Chick, prisoner number 37522. A hood classic. 9 out of 10.
Hold on, I want to do this one justice. Idolater, your soul is required in hell. Hitchcock the Legend, 8 out of 10. It's one of my favorite lines from the movie.
Oh, this one's from Anna M. Stamaso. 7 out of 10. Fast-paced ghetto gangster fantasy with an important message. Oh, the Ghetto. Remember you didn't like you don't like Ghetto? That song I was thinking of, Elvis Presley, The Ghetto.
Oh.
When mama doesn't have any money, but she tries to do in the ghetto. And then the backup singer's like, in the ghetto. So I'm taking Ghetto back. Ghetto's mine. And anytime I see a poor person, I'm taking out my water sprayer and get back to the Ghetto, poor person. I won't discriminate. I don't care if they're white and poor. I'll spray them too.
Jesus.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Oh, am I up? Sorry.
I think
No,
so.
no, that was mine.
You did the 7? Okay.
Yeah, I did a 7.
So now here's my 6 out of 10. Some cool Scarface and a little bad blaxploitation, Snoopy style.
Prism Mark 10. 5 out of 10. Cracked heat. Crack.
Oh god, this one's good. Almost an important film. Kubrick CRM 114, 4 out of 10.
Yeah, this movie did not age well. 3 out of 10. Caddick.
I believe you. There's only one 2 out of 10, and this is it. Undertones. AJX91.
That's it?
That's undertones. But the first line is, it had weird political undertones towards drugs. That is outdated. Yes, sir, because it takes place from 1986 to 1989
Yeah.
during the war on drugs.
R. Lajani says 1 out of 10. I should be paid for wasting 2 hours of my life for this piece of crap. And there we go. All right. Let's take a look at the poster. Awesome poster.
Mhm.
For those listening, it's just up top. It's Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, Mario Van Peebles, Judd Nelson. When survival depends on friends, trust, and power, an organized crime family out to run the city is up against cops who know its streets. In New Jack City, you have Wesley Snipes in the big with a cigarette. And then you have Ice-T, Judd Nelson, Mario Van. Awesome poster. If you like the movie, it is a great poster.
Mhm.
If you don't like the movie, you will not like this poster.
No, because you will not want a reminder of this movie if you don't like it.
If you don't like it. Okay, so we did the budget, we did the box office, we did the reviews. Now let's watch our trailer watch from last week, and then when we come back, we will review it. All right. So now our sneak peek for next week. I cannot fucking wait. I have not seen this movie since the 90s. It is a pinnacle 90s gangster film. And I believe this is one that this is sometimes we do a few that you pick, a few that I pick, and then 4 movies where we pick out of 3. And if we pick the same, awesome. If one picks one picks the other, we cancel each other out and we go with the third one. This we both picked, I think, easily.
Yes.
And this is 1990s New Jack City. What do you remember about New Jack City?
I remember because I haven't seen it since probably the mid-90s.
I don't know why I haven't, because I remember loving this movie.
No, I remember loving it too. I also was in a big, I probably watched this. I think I rented it, but I would have been probably about 14 or 15 when I rented it. And I remember it being violent, and I remember it being really kind of, if you know how some movies have that 100% gangster vibe, like you're in it and you feel like you're in a gang, or you're in the mob, or you're it sucks you in. That's what I remember from this movie. I don't remember a lot of the story, but I definitely remember there's a lot of guns.
Yep.
There's a lot of swearing. There's a lot of just and I think it was the first time I ever saw Ice-T act.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and then soon
And he was just
after
cool
this,
because of his rap,
yeah,
being the rapper.
I listened to him.
Yeah.
And his rap for years. I obviously should not have been young little ears and such, but I listened, so I was like, oh, he's acting now. And then I saw him and I was like, oh, he's not bad. Makes sense, because he wasn't exactly a Boy Scout before he started acting, when he was rapping. But yeah, no, I watched it and I loved it, but then for some reason, maybe it's because it didn't get enough play on TV, or
Oh,
when
but
it
yeah,
did play,
good.
it was really late at night. But it was not one of my regular rentals, so I haven't seen it in like 30 odd years.
Yeah, it's been since like the early mid '90s for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember really liking it. Like I thought it was super cool. And I remember really, really liking it. And maybe that's where my love of violence came from.
Well, it's directed by Mario Van Peebles.
Oh, love him.
Yeah, he's directed a lot of good movies. He's also acted in a lot of good movies. It also has Wesley Snipes,
Mm-hmm.
who we've seen many times. We reviewed a few of his things, and I love Wesley Snipes. He's awesome.
He is.
But it's also, like you said, Ice-T. It's Chris Rock. He plays Pookie. This is the character that he, in his comedy special after Will Smith slapped him, he goes, Will Smith played Muhammad Ali. I played fucking Pookie from New Jack City. It also stars Bill Nunn or Noon. Bill Noon.
I think it's Bill Noon. No, none. It's Bill Nunn.
Bill Cobbs, Judd Nelson, who I love.
I love him too.
Yeah, it's just full of so many actors. And yeah, I just remember it being really cool because I know it was about, I think Ice-T and Judd Nelson are the cops, Wesley Snipes and company are the gangsters, and they're trying to get them. And it's just violence after violence after violence.
Yeah. There's a lot of violence. And as a very young teenager, really fucking love that.
Yes. All right. Well, let's watch the trailer for New Jack City. And then make our predictions.
Living just enough. Wesley Snipes.
We will own the city.
Ice-T. Alan Payne. Chris Rock. Mario Van Peebles. Christopher Williams. Vanessa Williams. Tracy Camilla Johns. And Judd Nelson.
This is Detective Nick Peretti, big crazy jarhead, motorcycle freak, reject cop, just like you, Scotty.
On the streets, there's a fine line between wrong and right, good and bad, between those who enforce the law
It is a war out there.
and those who break it.
Gone are the days of selling on the street corners, dark alleyways, and the back rooms of some bummy ass bar. We ain't with that no more.
In a city where survival depends on friends,
It's always business, never personal.
on family,
We gotta look out for one another.
on trust, on loyalty, on power.
Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am!
A family out to run a city are up against cops who know its streets.
This ain't business. This is personal.
And this is big business. This is the American way.
City. Oh, yeah.
Not the greatest trailer.
No, it's not the greatest trailer. However, I did used to have the biggest crush on Alan Payne. I used to think he was so adorable. I
I
haven't
like
seen him
Vanessa
lately.
Williams.
Vanessa Williams, the acting Vanessa Williams, not the singing Vanessa Williams, who was on Melrose Place. Love her. There were a lot of people in this that I'm like,
Yeah.
I know all of you guys.
Yeah. I'm hoping there's more. It's more Ice-T and NWA soundtrack than that soundtrack. But yeah, no, not the greatest trailer, but the amount of people in it, the fact that I remember, I think I'm gonna like it.
I think I'm really gonna like it.
yeah.
I think they toned down the trailer to get more airplay.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm just gonna take a look for New Jack City. I believe it's rated R. I hope so. We're disappointed. Yes, rated R. An hour and 41 minutes. It is a crime drama. March 8th, 1991. So
I'm very excited.
yes, I'm almost, because I remember liking it so much. I'm almost tempted to buy it because I think first. Oh, here's a check to see before you buy, because remember I bitched about paying $8 to watch stupid Ski Patrol, which I
Yeah.
didn't hate. I didn't hate.
Yeah.
We had a someone who watched or listened to the podcast and saying that they just watched it on Tubi, and I went on Tubi and like, fuck, it's on Tubi, and I spent $8 to rent it.
See, but the
So
thing about Tubi that I hate is
the ads,
commercials.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather watch it with commercials than pay $8.
Well,
But
no, I get that.
if I can't stream it, I will, because I think it's on sale on Apple and on Amazon for
Oh.
like $7 or something like that. So if I can't find it streaming, I'm confident that I will pay the extra $2 and buy
If
it.
you have stars on your Crave, if you have Crave and you have
I just
stars,
canceled Crave.
New Jack
I'm
City
gonna
on
go.
there.
I'm gonna wait a while, and I'm gonna rent it like a month at a time because I like the Righteous Gemstones season 4 is on. I want to watch that, but
Yeah.
I'll rent it in a month or two and do it. Yeah, I'm coming back on all my streaming.
God bless. I still have not done that, but Crave gives me the most random movies where I'm like, fuck yeah, let's watch you. Also, I want to catch up on all my Canadian TVs that they have there, like Letterkenny. I still haven't seen. Shoresy, I haven't seen. They have one called Trades. I'm like, I want to see that. The Pit is on there, but I'm waiting until all the episodes are up before I like binge
It's just
it.
that it's $25 a month.
It is fucking expensive as shit.
I'm like, oh my god. So
I get
right
my
now,
money's worth.
I'm down to Netflix, Amazon, and Disney Plus. Disney Plus has not been great for new stuff lately, but the
Mhm.
amount of their back catalog with Fox
Yeah.
and Disney is so amazing, and their TV shows and the FX television shows that are out. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, I watch all kinds of stuff on Disney. Like
Yeah.
what is it? The fuck. Why can't I remember?
The Bear.
The Bear. On Netflix, I just watched The Residence. That was great. Oh God, what else did I watch on Disney recently? That I was like, God, that was so fucking good.
Fargo
can't-
just showed up on Amazon, I think. Amazon or Disney, the TV
really?
series.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal. I just finished Reacher season 3. That was great.
Reacher was great.
Show.
So
So
one
I'm down
thing
to 3.
Disney, the movie that I have that Disney has that I absolutely fucking love, Club Dread.
Oh, I love Club Dread. I love
That
all the Super Troopers, Club Dread.
Oh,
Club
yes.
Dread is probably their most underrated movie. It's
100%.
so dumb, but
So
so
dumb.
funny.
So funny. Will Trent on Disney, super good. Love that. Tracker is a nice, light, kind of entertaining show. Like something when you really want something mindless to watch, you can watch it and be entertained. And then before you know it, you're like, I kind of want to know how his dad did die. Are we ever going to find that out? Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on Disney that I'm like, oh, they also have one of my favorite reality shows, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Oh my god.
Stupid.
What's
So
wrong with you?
I love me a good reality show that has to do with wives, ex-wives, current wives, future wives. They also have Dodgeball, the underdog story, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They have the
Yeah.
911s. Like, there's a lot of really entertaining TV on Disney that I'm like, you pay for yourself.
Yeah, the old Fox TV shows, the FX shows, and the
Yeah.
Fox movies alone. Add that with all the Disney, ABC,
All the Disney catalog, yeah.
Yeah, and because you got like all the old sitcoms like Modern Family, Home Improvement, tons of them, tons of Golden Girls.
Mhm.
Yeah, Disney, like I said, some of their new stuff is sometimes hit or miss. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. But their back catalog is
Yeah.
just amazing to have. So yeah, I'm down to 3. But yeah, I'm confident. New Jack City is like $6.99 or something like. If
Yeah.
I can't get it, I will probably pay the extra $2. I'm that confident. I'm gonna like New Jack City.
It feels like a fairly safe bet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not mad about it.
All right. Well, when we come back, next week we will review New Jack City from 1990. Go back up into the 90s now.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
Got a little button happy there.
It was a little startling.
Just so people know, I'm up to 4 streaming services. I had another one. I had an Apple. I canceled it a while ago, and now there's so much on there. I'm gonna concentrate on Apple.
There
this
is
month.
so much to watch, and I just did a rewatch of Ted Lasso because I needed something to like cleanse my heart. It was filled with a lot of rage, and I was like, I need something happy. So I watched Ted Lasso again, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I want to see like Severance. I want to see the one with was it Paul Rudd or
Oh yeah. No, it's
the
Paul
one-
Rudd.
yeah, where he's the therapist.
Yeah.
And then they're sci-fi like For All Mankind, the one with the three leaders of the outer whatever. They're hard to explain, but they're great. They're great shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. All right, welcome back. And okay, so did you watch 1991's New Jack City?
I did.
So did I. I wish we could play music. I would play the Ice-T song.
I know. It's
Pisses
okay.
me off.
We're playing it in our heads.
Yeah. What's your initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts. It's not the greatest movie, but it's a good movie and it's very entertaining. I mean, some of the dialogue just, it's terrible. Some of the characters, I don't know why they're there. But ultimately, I had a good time watching it.
Yeah, so did I. It could have been longer. This movie came in an hour and 40 minutes. You could have given me another 20 to 30 minutes, 2 hours, 10 minutes, and give me more of those characters. One could use a lot more Judd Nelson.
Can we? No, it's either no Judd Nelson or more Judd Nelson.
Or Mud Nelson, because he didn't do it like when he would his little parts. Yeah, he had a couple cool lines. He looked cool, and he saved a couple people and everything. But they really, I have a feeling there was more. There's a director's cut out there, or there was more footage, and
Judd
they
Nelson's
chopped it down.
character could have just been, like
Anybody.
cop number 4.
Yeah.
And that's what I had a problem with. I was like, if you're not going to use him properly, he shouldn't be there.
No, and because he was a very cool character.
Very cool.
Totally underutilized.
Totally unnecessary.
Ice-T is cool.
Yes.
Some of his dialogue.
Yeah.
Some of his wardrobe choices were.
Some of his acting.
It was 1991. Yeah, some of his acting. This was his first major Hollywood movie.
For his first major Hollywood movie, he did fine. He did just like he was good. He wasn't great. There were some moments where I'm like, Mario Van Peebles like had a little chat with you, and this was like take 6.
Yeah.
And you were just fed up, and you could see it on the screen where he's like, he's not getting the note, and nobody cares. They're just done.
Mary Van Peebles was great. Alan Payne was great. Wrong Vanessa Williams. Not the Vanessa Williams. Like, where the fuck?
I told you it was the acting Vanessa Williams.
Yeah.
Well, now singing Vanessa Williams is also acting Vanessa Williams.
Yes.
But yeah.
But I thought it was that Vanessa Williams. It was
no.
not. Wesley Snipes has to be. I don't know if he's one of the greatest actors. He can act. Don't get me wrong. He's been in a lot of movies where he has shown he has very great range. But I would say he's either in the top 10, maybe top 5, maybe top 3 of the hands down most entertaining fucking actors ever. Wildcats was his first. I didn't know this. Maybe we did cover this. Was his first movie. And he was entertaining and then. But in this movie, he made this movie. He was the best villain. He was a piece of shit, but he was so funny.
Such a piece of shit.
He had the best one-liners.
He has incredible screen presence.
Oh my God.
And he has a very, very natural charisma,
Yeah.
which lends itself well to every performance that he puts on. Because even when he's not good, and I honestly, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Yeah.
No, Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for
Tu Wong
everything,
Fu, yeah.
Julie. My apologies. Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar. He's not the greatest in that.
Yeah.
He
And
almost feels, but he's still good.
yeah, he's
And
still
you're
good.
like even his not good performances are good, and it's really kind of annoying because he has such presence and charisma. You forgive a bad performance from him because it still feels very comfortable and very right on screen.
Yeah. Blade 3 is obviously the worst Blade movie.
But it's my favorite. It's my absolute
It's very cheesy, and you kind of could tell, but even like his worst movie is still entertaining. Like I'm sure there's movies out there that I don't like of his. I haven't seen probably every single one of them. But like the Second Coming to America, the sequel, he
I still haven't
stole
watched
that
that.
movie.
I still
He
haven't
plays
watched
a dictator. He's a piece
He'd
of
be
shit
amazing.
dictator, but he is the funniest fucking thing in that movie, hands down. But in this movie, Wesley Snipes makes the movie. He is.
You know what? You know why? Because you need someone who can play, we're family, we're brothers. Like, I am, because the big line is like I am my brother's keeper. So like they're all supposed to be accountable, but you need someone who you can see the crazy overtake. And Wesley Snipes does that so well.
Yeah.
That you're like, because it's incremental. He adds just a little bit of crazy as the movie goes on. As it keeps going, he just adds a little bit more on top. And you're like, until he's finally just like batshit crazy. And you're like, motherfucker.
Like they're shooting at him and he's laughing as he almost gets hit.
Yeah. He's picking up, he's using children
I was
as
gonna
like
say using the child. That's what I would do.
That is totally what you would do, you morally bankrupt fool. But
You're
yeah,
not gonna hit a
he's
baby.
but he's still having a good he literally purposely picks up this little girl and he's like, "Ha!" And
At
you're
first,
like,
you're kind of like, "Oh, he's saving the baby." Oh no, he's not.
No,
he's using her as a shield.
I literally out loud like gasped. I'm like, I have seen this man do a bunch of really, really like shocking and shitty things, but I was like, that is a step too far, sir. That is a step too far.
Yeah.
Don't use the
Oh,
little
the way he
baby with
treats his girlfriend, his friends. Like,
Oh,
get this
yeah.
bitch out of here. I'll buy a new one.
Oh, can I tell you? I was like, that asshole. That motherfucking asshole. I was like, girl, I want you to collect your jewelry. I want you to collect all the designer bags and designer clothes he gave you. I'm sure he bought you some furs. Take some of his jewelry. Get the fuck out of there. Don't hang around. Move to Ohio or something.
I'm like, he's my soulmate. Even at the beginning, like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, as they're dropping him off that bridge. Yeah. There were a lot of great people in the movie, a lot of great performances, but Wesley Snipes did steal the show. Or just, yeah. It made me want to watch more Wesley Snipes movies, is what it did.
Well, I keep forgetting about him. And then I watched something with him in it.
And then you're like, oh
And
yeah,
I'm
he
like,
did lots of
God,
movies.
He's so good. And then you start thinking about his other performances. Like, as you said, Blade Trinity. It's one of the most terrible movies ever made. Like, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Don't get me wrong, I liked Blade Trinity. But
it's one of my
Blade
favorite.
and Blade 2 were superior movies in every way.
100%.
But Blade 3 was so cheesy.
But you can also,
fun.
and you can see it. You can see
the
difference in Wesley Snipes' performance in Blade 1 and 2 and then Blade Trinity. Like, you can see there's a stark difference. But he's still good in Blade Trinity. And I'm like, how do you...
And then you remember movies like the Marshals, like the Fugitive sequel.
Yeah.
Fucking Demolition Man. I don't know who's a better villain. Good. Wesley Snipes, New Jack City, or Wesley Snipes, Demolition Man. He should play more bad guys. Because he
does bad guys so well. Like him in Demolition Man, probably one of my favorite Wesley Snipes performances. Because he takes the bad shit crazy and he wears it. He wears it like a badge. He's like, I am so proud of this motherfucking shit. Let's go. And I'm like, yes.
And then you got, and whether it's Drop Zone, Passenger 57, the one he did with Sean Connery, I can't remember the name of it. And then movies like Mo Better Blues, Jungle Fever, White Men Can't Jump. Yeah, and then he
He
went away to jail for a while because he didn't pay the IRS.
I mean, the IRS likes their money.
Yeah,
It's fine. And then he moved to Africa while he was hiding from the IRS. Then he came back. The IRS was like, "You gotta go to jail." He was like, "All right." So he went to jail for a bit, and then he came back out and kept acting. And I'm
yeah,
like, I think it's just because he probably ran that prison on goodwill and like good vibes.
yeah. Hey, look, it's Wesley.
Yeah, they all did Tai Chi together or something.
Origami. All right, let's go through this movie because actually it's quite impressive.
Is it very like specific?
It's pretty good.
The
Better than
description?
some. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. In the New York City neighborhood of Harlem, Nino Brown and his gang, the Cash Money brothers, CMB. Who the fuck advertises your gang on your clothing, your fucking haircut? I mean, was it a 90s thing? Because they had CMB shirts, CMB
Yeah.
in the back of their head.
Did you not have gangs in your neighborhood?
Me. No, I'm from a
No?
very white neighborhood. There were no gangs.
Okay, we had gangs.
You guys had were like the greasers. What are those? The
The greasers. I'm
slick
not gonna
back hair and
I'm
leather
not gonna talk
jackets.
about the names of the gangs, but we had a couple in our neighborhood. Some were a little more north, one was a little more east, but like they all came into my hood and the hoods that I hung in. And the
Oh,
Duff Mall.
I get the smaller gangs. Like I get that part where you wear the jacket and stuff. These guys
Yeah.
were trying to run a city. The point when you get that
Yeah,
big,
but
it's
they don't
low key.
Yeah, but you also understand, like, especially in the 90s, people
Yeah.
were naming themselves
It's all about the
and giving
brand.
like, everybody was branding themselves. It was actually no, for reals. Any friend group or whatever, look, there's this British reality show that I watch, and there's a group of girls on there who are friends, and they call themselves girl band. Like, they're still doing it to this day. So them being like, we're the Cash Money brothers, whatever, or Cash Money Boys, whatever it is. They're like, we are like, this is who we are. Everybody in the neighborhood already knows who they are. Now they're just making it easy so that when you want to buy some crack, you know exactly who to go to.
That's true. Yeah,
It's
that's
just
true.
like wearing colors, if you're in gangs. Okay, we're gonna stop talking about gangs now. Anyways.
So CMB become the dominant drug ring once crack cocaine is introduced to the streets. So they throw this guy off the bridge. See, you wouldn't want to be and then the guy's like, "Oh, I've been doing this side thing just for research," he said. And he
Yeah.
shows him the crack, and he's just explaining that he sells it to one person, 6 people end up coming for more, and then so they decide to do it. And to do that, okay, yeah, it does actually get to it. So his gang consists of Gerald G. Money Wells, his best friend since childhood, enforcer and personal bodyguard, Da Man. That says Da Man. Was that his
Yeah.
actual name?
Yes, that's actually what they call him.
Okay. I thought they were just making fun of him. I didn't think that was
No,
his
they
actual name.
are literally.
Yes, they are
every
literally
time he speaks.
Yeah, will you shut the fuck up?
And every time they did that, I'm like, yo, you're supposed to be his friend. Why you gotta be like that?
Oh, if we had a friend that stuttered, poor bastard. That was just in the 90s. That's just what you did. God forbid you do something stupid or had an accident or whatever. Yeah, your friends would just be all
See,
over
I
you.
only did that to people who were mean to me.
Oh,
Like if you did something rank, yeah, I'm gonna make fun of your stutter. It's a dick move, 100%. Now I don't, because I know better.
Gun mole Keisha, Nino's girlfriend Selena Thomas, and her tech-savvy cousin, ex-bank teller Kareem Akbar. Nino converts the Carter apartment complex into a crack house. This was great. When they go, well, this guy runs the crack house. So they roll up on him. He's talking to him. Gun mole, was that her name?
Gun mole.
Keisha.
Oh yeah, Keisha. Yeah.
Just gets out and just blows his brains out. And
Straight
G
up.
Money is laughing. Goes, that's how you kill someone, straight up in the brain in broad daylight.
That was I was like, oh, we're just jumping right in because they're like, oh, he controls that territory, like he sells out front. We got to remove him. I was like, you're not even going to like beat him up. You're just going to shoot him in the head in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, just
Show them
okay.
you're serious. Then the owner of the building, or the supervisor, I'm not sure who it was. Nino, Wesley Snipes' character, is talking to him like, this is what you're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And you're all right with that. And he's crying. And he's like, yeah. And then you realize that he's walking with them in the rain. Nino's holding an umbrella and the guy's buck naked. Everyone's all aghast. And I'm like, yeah, these guys are serious.
No, he was holding a shotgun.
Oh, yeah. And someone was holding an umbrella over him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holding an umbrella over
He had a shotgun up to his head.
He had a shotgun to his head. And he's like,
naked.
Here's hoping the shotgun doesn't just go off and then blow your brains out. And he's like, okay, great. And then he like taps him on the ass when he sends him. It was like, that's some fucked up shit. Cause he planned ahead of time.
Yeah.
What apartments he wanted, what the plan was, what he was going to do. He's like, and this is how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And
this
then
is where the lookouts are going to go. This is where we're going to make it. This is where we're going to sell it. One spot, one stop and shop.
Yep.
And they're like, you're a genius. G Money and Keisha kill rival Fat Smitty, and the CMB forces out the tenants and landlord. Meanwhile, Scotty Appleton, an undercover police detective working with the NYPD, attempts to make a deal with stick-up kid Pookie, who absconds with the money. That was a good scene.
That was great.
Great chase scene. Appleton chases and shoots Pookie in the leg. Not the leg, the fucking his heel or ankle.
In his Achilles heel.
Achilles heel. Yeah. That looked, oh my God, did that look painful?
That was like, that is not nice, my friend.
And I don't know if this was Ice-T's acting or I'm not. The movie at times had a Monday Night Movie feel to it. At times,
100%.
Not all the time, but at times it was, and it kind of made it look a little amateurish or more TV like.
Yeah,
there
were some scenes that were shot so beautifully and composed so incredibly that you're like, oh my God. That's such a great image. And then there were others where I was like,
yeah, I could have done a better fucking shot than that.
That feels pretty low budget, my friends.
And I would have just used my phone. Pookie but he is released on bail. As the years pass, Nino's gang successfully run the streets of Harlem with absolute power. When Stone, the leader of the CMB police operation, comes under pressure from the NYPD Commissioner Fred R. Price, Appleton, currently on suspension for shooting Pookie, volunteers to infiltrate Nino's gang and is partnered with loose cannon Nick Peretti, the very underused Judd Nelson.
100%. Yeah. I feel bad for Judd Nelson because I feel like either his character ended up on the cutting room floor a lot.
Yeah.
Or there just wasn't a lot for the white cop, which I felt kind of bad for, other than being just
the white cop,
racist and stereotypical.
Like, yeah, to just someone to throw out those those lines to make Ice-T mad.
Yeah, I was like, what is your purpose?
I could have done that.
But it felt very like Mario Van Peebles like gets in trouble.
Yep.
Then he's like, you got to let me pull in who I want to pull in. And they're like, don't pick the crazy cops. And he's like, but I got to have the crazy cops. And then he hires the crazy cops. And then they prove just how crazy they are.
Yeah. And then the crazy cops hire the crackhead.
As you do.
Yeah. Why not? Elsewhere, mobster and tax collector Frankie Needles attempts to get protection money from Nino, who refuses to pay. While Appleton and Peretti observe Nino and his gang handing out Thanksgiving turkeys to the poor. Appleton spots Pookie, now a crack addict, and soon gets him into rehab. The one thing this movie really did well, and I think it really, I wasn't around a lot of crack when it was 1986. I was very young. I was in a white suburb, so I don't know but it was very, from what I could tell from what I read and what I saw throughout the news and history, it didn't look fun being a crackhead. And this movie made it look very real, like really shitty, like beyond shitty.
Well, because
I'm sure it's worse than that, but I think the movie portrayed the struggle very well.
Yes, because crack cocaine exceptionally highly addictive.
Yeah,
like probably just below what fentanyl is.
Yeah, and Cadbury cream eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly the same.
Exactly.
So I know where the crackheads are coming from.
Yeah, but I mean, it was one of those drugs that like once you did it once, if you did it twice, you were screwed because
Yeah.
then it really hooked you. And then you saw how people's lives were like completely ruined. And that's, people were talking about crack babies and things like that. And it really was very, very devastating because it wasn't super expensive. Like
No.
it
Well,
made good money, but it
yeah.
wasn't like,
Didn't
it's
cost an
not
arm
like
and a leg. Yeah.
it didn't cost an arm and a leg. It was very accessible and it was highly addictive. So everybody got fucked over. But Frankie Needles, was that the
Yeah.
Italian guy? Yeah. He wasn't going to collect collection or it wasn't really protection money. It's just more like an operating fee.
Yeah.
I just to clarify, because he's like, yo, you're supposed to give us 10%.
Yeah. Whatever you do, we're supposed to get 10.
Yeah. And Nino's like, nah, fuck that. Frankie's like, the fuck?
And then
they go
his
back.
boss is like, you know what? Let them be because
Yeah.
something's coming. They're gonna what is it? They're
They're
have
gonna-
an itch and we're gonna scratch it.
Yep.
Yeah. And they made Chris Rock because they made Chris Rock selling it as looking like a student, a young guy.
Mhm.
And when he came up at that turkey line, oh my God. He
Yep.
looked like shit.
But also, that was something that some of the bigger, we'll say organized crime people would do. They would do things for their community.
Yes.
So the community would not necessarily want them to leave because they still benefited in some ways. So they're
Yeah.
like, yes, he's selling crack, but turkey, free
Yeah.
meals, free
And
microwaves.
who was the old guy? Bill Cobbs.
Yes.
I don't think he even had a name. And yeah, he played his part. And we saw that type of thing in Do the Right Thing, where
Yeah.
older people saw what people were doing, saw what these people were doing, and yeah.
And it's the young people being like, but
Yeah.
I mean, look what I got.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, you moron. But no, I think the movie did this part very, very well.
Yes.
Later, Pookie offers to help bring down. Yeah, so he goes into rehab, and they do this. Like Pookie did not have fun kicking crack.
Nope. There is a rehab montage that
Yeah, it's a montage,
I
but
was
it's
like,
a shitty
damn.
montage.
It's a super shitty.
This was
'Cause I'm
not
like,
your
is he-
'80s fun montage.
I was like, is he doing an inpatient treatment, but he's allowed out to go jogging and work out in like Scotty's apartments?
Yeah.
What is the deal? But I was like, I mean, good for you, Pookie. Good for
Yeah.
you. You
He
get
kicks
clean.
it. So Pookie offers to help bring down Nino. After his better judgment and the disapproval of Stone and Peretti, Appleton recruits Pookie as an informant. When Pookie relapses, G Money realizes that he is wired and orders the Carter destroyed. Yeah, because I thought when I was watching it, this was all happening, and this is like just halfway through the movie. And
Yeah.
I'm like, for some reason, I remembered. I thought this was more of the end of the movie, so I didn't remember everything.
No, same for me because when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is the kickoff. And then I checked where I was and I was like, I'm only halfway through.
Yeah.
That's weird. Odd. But I was like, okay.
And I loved how Pookie showed them how everything was done. He said, "This is you have to have a Blockbuster card, and they let you in. They scan it, and then you buy the drugs. You give them the money here, pick up the drugs, and then you can go to the Enterprise. And they call it the Enterprise because you can sit there, do your drugs, and blast off like the Starship Enterprise from Star Trek. And that opening." What is it called? He said it's like zombies, just a bunch of crackheads.
The courtyard. The
courtyard.
It's filled
But
with
the
it's like zombie land.
Enterprise, when they showed the woman about to do crack and her 7 or 8 year old
Yeah,
kid
just kind of sitting there
just-
judging
I'm like,
her.
what? Yeah, good. I would judge it too. I'm like, what?
100%.
You said we were going to Toys R Us.
The mom looks right at her,
Yeah.
turns around, goes to light her pipe.
Yeah.
And I was like, girl,
Okay, I'll see you in a couple hours, honey.
you got your child judging you for your life choices. Your super minor child. Maybe you rethink things.
And that's when I'm sitting there going, I think crack is bad. I don't think crack's good for you at all.
That was very perceptive of you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Very perceptive. Good job.
90s Jimmy wanted to be a gangster because of this movie, but now I think crack is bad. Yeah, and then they notice, and then I guess because Pookie's getting nervous, so he does crack again, fights it, and cries while he's doing it. Great performance by Chris Rock, by the way.
So good.
He was on Saturday Night Live from 1990 to 1993. This was 1991. So amongst doing all that comedy, he really gave a very dramatic performance in this movie.
He's actually not a bad actor.
No,
he's
not at
pretty
all.
good. He's pretty good. Yeah, the thing that I liked about it is he manages to stay clean and he's super proud of himself. Like Pookie's like, yeah, man, I got this, because he's just working lookout, so he's not surrounded by everything.
Yeah.
And then once he moves into
Once he gets in
packaging
and sees all that crap,
then it becomes a really big temptation. And to uplift his spirits, Scotty puts a lot of pressure on him and is like, hey, man, you're doing this for me. You're doing this for everybody in the neighborhood. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this. You better do it right. And it's
but
like,
even
well,
Stone and Peretti are like, we should pull this guy out now.
yes. Peretti's like, pull him out now. Scotty's like, we need to keep him in a little bit longer. Stone's like, I agree with Peretti, but it's your call, Appleton.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're going to stay in. You're going to keep working around the crack cocaine that you're severely addicted to. Anyways, he starts smoking it. Then he starts acting the fool in the little packaging area where apparently nobody wears anything and everybody's titties are just out. And
had
then
some funny jokes.
And then he's wearing a wire. They find out, and
he's like, take this motherfucker out and kill him. And he's like, help me. And he dies.
They're like, he's been burned. He's been. We got to get in. And they run in, and Ice-T's wearing a balaclava. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, a great scene how they just they're taking all the computer, all the floppy disks, and they're burning everything. And yeah, they did a great job. Good
This was
plan.
also where they. Oh God, is that coming up in the thing?
Where
they talk
booby
about
trapped?
Yeah.
The cops find Pookie's booby trap corpse.
There we
Purdy
go.
defuses the explosive seconds before it explodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good scene too.
That was a great scene. And I felt so bad for Pookie.
Yeah, he was
like,
all
"Oh,
wrapped up, dead.
Sweetie.
And then they're about to blow up, and
Crack his
Ice-T's
back.
like, fucking disarm this. And he's like, fucking give me a second. I don't know what wire to pull.
But this always happens. This like at least Peretti kind of knew. Like he's like, one of these is the grounding wire, and
It
Scotty's
sounded
like,
real. Yeah.
Scotty's
Where some
like,
movies are
"Pick
just, you
one.
gotta do this
Which
and this.
one?" And I was like, sir, you don't know anything about what's happening. So maybe you don't be talking about wires and making him do things real fast. How about that?
See, I would have been like, okay, you guys do that. I'm gonna go check like outside.
I'm gonna go check the front door.
Yeah, I'll be back.
I'm gonna go look at the gate. You know,
We don't need another person around there to do that.
Nah.
Now, Nino angrily warns G Money against repeating such a costly mistake. Yeah, he's pretty pissed. He's also Stone G Money's girlfriend at this point. He's all pissed because his girlfriend can't get pregnant. And
G Money's girlfriend.
he couldn't have been surprised. I did like it when he called. I knew you were a hoe.
Well, it's funny because he's like, why you gonna act like that? And then he still has sex with her.
Yeah.
After we watch her do a striptease in front of his friend, I was like, after he starts talking, like they start making fun of Selena because apparently she cannot have kids.
Yeah.
And this offends Nino Brown because he's like, she can't even have no babies. And what's her name? I think it's Uniqua is the girlfriend. She is mean about it too. So then Selena like drops off, and then Nino like G Money is the one who has to be like, yo, man, go get your girl. He's like, nah, but I mean, no, go get your girl. And so he goes, and then he pisses her off. And then he's like super abusive, and because she like touches his hand, and he's like, you put your hands on me again. And I'm like, dude. That's when I was like, pack up your shit and leave, girl. Why are you still there? Then he starts sleeping with G Money's girlfriend.
Yeah. I don't think G Money's girlfriend goes to church.
I don't think so either.
Not with a clear conscience, anyways. After Pookie's funeral, Appleton and Peretti, no longer needed by Stone, go undercover as drug dealers. This was a little like Ice-T's getup was a little much.
But I mean,
like a pimp. Like a pimp from the Dave Chappelle show.
See, but you dress like that when you are a high earning drug dealer.
Yeah.
You're
and
not
it was the
some
90s.
like corner selling like stooge.
Yeah.
But then he gets hired for security by Nino Brown.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep calling him Nino Brown just because I like the name. Nino Brown, G Money, Pookie. The names in this are amazing.
Yeah, they are. They so are. After bribing Frankie, Appleton infiltrates the CMB, partly due to G Money's increased ambition and drug use. Yeah, G Money starts using, and that's
Yeah.
their whole thing through the whole thing. You don't do crack.
Well, don't do crack. Don't
Like they know
sell
better than
crack.
anyone that crack is bad.
Avoid illegal drugs.
Yeah, yeah, just
Like
don't.
just don't. It was bad times because G Money started out great. Then his girlfriend started sleeping with his best friend. Then his best friend was getting crazy and was becoming an asshole. Then G Money was like, well, maybe I should be the boss. And then he starts smoking the crack and everything falls apart.
Yep. G Money. Though Nino distrusts them, he agrees to do business. After relating an anecdote about his own violent initiation into a gang in 1974, Nino warns that he will kill both Appleton and G Money if any problems occur. Appleton gains Nino's trust when he reveals information about G Money's side deal and saves him from a gun-toting old man who had earlier appealed to the police for help against Nino. Yeah, he went to the thing. He's like, I'm telling you, there's drug dealers in the apartment building. And they're
And
like,
then he
just
said-
ignoring him.
They're
Oh, yeah.
totally like blanking him. And it's Bronson Pinchot, I think, who's playing the police officer who's ignoring him.
Oh, was it really?
I think so, yeah. Because I was like, is that Bronson Pinchot? I think it was. But anyways, so he's watching him, and he's like, duh, you know, if you were living in my building, I bet you'd care at that point. And then he just walks away. So it must have been like an extra role for him because he doesn't say one word.
No, not a single word.
Not a word.
And then he walks into Nino giving out money to the kids and the preacher.
Yeah.
And he's like, shame on you, preacher. And then he pulls the gun and Ice-T grabs him because he doesn't want him to get hurt. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
And that's the first time you hear the idolaters. This is idolatry. You know, like he busts out the scripture at that point.
Yeah. While Nino, Appleton, and the CMB attend a wedding, this was great. Peretti sneaks into Nino's mansion to collect evidence. Don Aramedo, Frankie's boss, sends mobsters to kill Nino, and a massive shootout erupts. When Nino uses a child shield, Appleton attempts to shoot Nino in the back. Yeah, after he saw that and he had a clear shot, he could have shot it and blamed it on the mobsters, but he didn't because he's a good cop. But yeah, that was a great shootout.
Yes, it was so good. Because as soon as I saw that guy wearing the uniform, I was like, oh,
yeah, you look a little too Italian.
I'm like, it's the mobster.
No one that Italian and that fat is a waiter at a fucking wedding. I'll tell you that.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
But yeah, and then when he used that kid as a shield, I'm like, yes.
When he picked up that little girl, I very loudly gasped. Because I was like, yo, I knew you were fucked up. I didn't know you were this fucked up. Like, that's super fucked up.
Because it made it look like he was there. He was going to grab her to get her out of the way of all the shooting.
No. Hoisted her right up to cover his chest. I was like, you're such a fucking dick.
You won't hit a guy holding a kid, would you? Yeah. Kesha is the crazy killer. Is killed. Later, Nino throws Selena out when she condemns his nature. Yeah, when they're before the shootout, he's like, he goes to grab her hand, but she won't. And he's like, "What? You still mad at me? Ah, fuck you, bitch!" And then walks away. But yeah, she decides that she's had enough, and he's like, "Whatever, I'll buy a new one." And then he kills Don Armamedo and his crew with that bike. You see them all having their coffee, reading their paper in the morning just outside the little cafe there. That bike speeding by. Yeah, and they got the guy strapped on to the back.
Yeah.
Holding those machine guns. That was awesome.
I'm like, that's kind of smart. Not going to lie. It's probably the best way to get a good shot at people.
Good shot. Slow down just a bit and unload.
Yep.
That was a good one. And then before killing Don Armedo and his crew single-handedly. Okay, so Stone, Appleton, and Peretti arrange a sting operation to nab Nino. Kareem, aware of Appleton and Pookie's connection, exposes Appleton and the shootout ensues. So they finally get to the buy.
Yes.
And Kareem, the bank teller guy that helps him do all the computer stuff and all that,
Yeah.
he's like, I've seen this motherfucker before.
Well, it's funny
Something.
because he says that at the like beginning of the movie
Yeah.
when you first see Scotty or Appleton.
He
he's
sees
like,
him shoot Pookie.
Yeah, he saw the first shooting.
Yeah.
Or he saw that. So you see Kareem there. Then you get introduced to Kareem through the Cash Money Boys. And then when Appleton gets introduced to Nino, he's like, man, that guy looks familiar. I don't know where I know him from. And then when they're doing the trade, because he crouches down, all of a
and it
sudden this triggers
triggers it.
something
Yeah.
in Kareem, and he's like, yo, that's 5-0.
Yeah. That's 5-0. And the shootout begins.
It's done.
Another great shootout. Peretti saves Appleton by killing the da man, and Nino escapes. Everyone pretty much buys it except for G Money and Nino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the ones that escape. A lot of cops die.
Yeah. That night, Nino confronts and regretfully kills G Money. After the gangs collapse, Nino holds up an apartment and continues his criminal empire solo. Appleton, Peretti, and the police assault the complex, where Appleton brutally beats the shit out of Nino, revealing that it was his mother whom Nino killed in his gang initiation. Did he actually kill his mother, or was it just someone like you killed my mother?
Okay, here's the thing.
Because I was wondering that.
Appleton talks about how it was a junkie who killed his mother, like beat her to death in 1974. Then you hear about the gang initiation from Nino, and he had to kill someone. Cool. Or he did kill someone. He had to jump someone. But I was like,
yeah, it's not
directly like there is no, oh yeah, 100%. That's what happened. It's kind of, you can connect those own dots, but Ice-T connects it for us by saying, you killed my mother.
Oh, did he say that?
He says it when he's beating the crap out of him.
Okay.
And
I
he's
thought he was
like,
just mad that
No.
you're like your criminal.
After he throws him off the balcony, I think when he's in the garbage, he says, like, this is for my mother. You killed my mother, whatever. And then that's when he pulls out his gun and he's ready to shoot him in front of the entire neighborhood. And then I think it's Peretti who pulls him back.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't throw away your life for him.
Yeah. Yeah, they become quite close at the end. Well, they don't like each other, but they're
like besties.
Yeah, oh yeah. Peretti dissuades Appleton from killing Nino, who was taken to custody. At his trial, this was great too.
Yeah.
Nino pleads guilty to a lesser charge, claims to have been forced to help the gang due to threats, and identifies Kareem as the leader and mastermind. He is sentenced to only a year in jail. And and Ice-T is like, what?
Everybody's like, what the fuck? Even
Kareem.
Yeah, Kareem's like, what the fuck?
Whoa, yeah.
He's like, I didn't do nothing.
He'd be like, fuck, plot twist.
The assistant district attorney was like, yo, I don't want to do this either, but it's his decision. Points to her boss, and he says we're gonna do it because we want to get everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, God.
Yeah, and Nino's like, I'm taking every motherfucker down with me.
Yeah, Nino's like, wait, so I can get out quicker and restart my business? Cool. I'm gonna snitch on absolutely everybody. And I'm like, sir, you do not want to do that just before you go into prison, because snitches get stitches.
Yes. As Nino speaks with reporters outside the courtroom, the old man who confronted him in front of the preacher and went to the cops fatally shoots him in the chest, causing Nino to fall over the balcony to his death. Appleton and Peretti leave satisfied as onlookers look down at Nino's dead body. Yeah, Peretti's actually laughing.
Yeah, he's like, cool.
Sweet. In the closing moments, an epilogue states that the crack epidemic is still ongoing and decisive action must be taken to stop real-life Nino Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Brown analogs. And that is our movie.
Yes, it was.
What is your score?
I'm going to give this one a solid rent it. Because here's the thing, it's not the greatest movie ever made. Like, it has its moments, and it has a lot of moments, but it's not overly cohesive. I think the story, in editing, we lost some of the pacing, and we lost some of the plot points, and we lost the things that kind of enrich the story. However, what is left? There is a lot of good. There is a lot of nostalgia. There is
Oh,
a great soundtrack.
oh yeah.
And there are some great performances, especially from Wesley Snipes. I didn't have to pay for it because I have Crave. So I watched it for free. But I was thinking about it and I was like, would I want to buy it? Probably not. I don't think I'd want to watch this multiple times, like on the regular. However, if I rented it like for $4.99 or even $5.99, I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd be like, yeah, it's a warranted price because it's still an hour and 40 minutes of entertainment.
Mhm.
Some of the minutes are better than others. But yeah, overall, it still has that story and it still shows just how jacked up the justice system is, just how jacked up drug dealing and all of this is. Like, it's still weirdly very relevant, which
Yeah.
makes me sad. But I mean, it's still a fairly relevant story. And God, the tracksuits, man. The tracksuits and all of the actors that you would have 100% seen before, all of the singers, like Keith Sweat is the wedding singer, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
because I was like, that's Keith Sweat.
Oh,
Holy
Public Enemy was in this a lot.
Flavor Flav was there
Flavor Flav.
constantly.
Yeah.
Fab Five Freddy was the one of the producers, and I think he was actually in it too. Eka Mouse was the one who played Fat Smitty. Nicholas Ashford played Reverend Oates. Like, there's a lot of people who are in here that you have 100% seen their face or heard their work, and they were in here. So I mean, it was very entertaining. And honestly, for Ice-T's first venture out into acting, pretty solid.
Mhm.
I was not mad about it. And I think they totally underused Judd Nelson.
Yeah.
Like, for the amount that they used him, they either should have taken him out or given him more. But overall, I think this is a good solid rental. 100%. What are your thoughts?
Well, if you remember liking New Jack City, don't worry, you probably still will like New Jack City. I agree with you. This movie is an hour and 40 minutes. I was not looking at my watch. I was thoroughly entertained, although sometimes this movie looked incredible. And the shots, the cinematography was well done. And at times it looked like a TV movie, which was weird. And I agree. There a lot of this movie, a lot ended up on the cutting room floor. Had to have.
Yeah.
I would have loved another half hour just to dive into some of the other the Asian cop, the Peretti cop. They're both good actors. I would have loved to see more of them. Even Mariel Van Peebles' character. Yeah, it could have been longer, which is weird. Sometimes most of the times we're saying could have been shorter. But this one could have been longer, and I would not have been mad at it. I actually bought it on Apple. I bought it for $9.99. I am not angry that I paid $9.99. I have to watch it one more time to justify that purchase. I will do it. It's not going to be anytime soon. It's going to be down the road, and I'm going to go through my movies and go, New Jack City. I'm going to watch that. I'll probably watch it a third time, a fourth time as time goes on. If I paid more, I wouldn't want to pay more than $9.99. I was okay at $9.99. Again, Blu-ray or DVD with some commentary, some making of, that might have been neat. Maybe they could have given us a bit more story or what was to be or what could have been. That would have been cool. But yeah, I'm with you. That's a solid rental or discount buy. This movie, I wouldn't want to pay $15, $20, $25 for it. No. But yeah, $10. I'm pretty happy. I'm glad I have it. The soundtrack. Oh my God. Soundtrack was awesome. The actors were awesome.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes was awesome. Judd Nelson underused. But yeah, overall, and the nostalgia. Holy shit.
The nostalgia was that was a huge, I was having flashbacks. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
it's like I was remembering me sitting on the couch watching the trailer coming on the TV in between watching whatever the hell I was watching. And that was 1991. Then you're going to think about all the cool 1991 things. Yeah.
Yeah.
The nostalgia is huge. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I had a lot of fun watching this movie. It was great. I agree. It's not the best movie. It's not the best gangster movie. But yeah, it's a fun movie.
It's a
It's a
fun
fun movie.
movie.
Serious message that gets it across very
Yep.
well. Yeah,
Could be better,
could
but
be
it's
better.
not bad.
Nope. Well, all right. We are on a serious roll.
This
Like-
is very disturbing. I'm super concerned now.
Yeah, we have not had a movie where we hated yet.
I know.
Like even the movies that were were like, we streamed it. It was good. It was fun for a stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think the two that I disliked the least were Cutting Edge and Ski Patrol, and I
That's
didn't
fair.
mind them streaming them.
Yeah.
I paid $8 for Ski Patrol to fucking rent it, but
Fucking
yeah,
Ski Patrol.
they're still a fun stream.
Yeah.
So here's hope. I'm not angry that every movie we've seen has been.
I'm not
fun or
angry,
really
but I'm
good or-
suspicious.
Yeah,
I'm
something's got to
concerned.
give,
Yeah. I'm like, what is going to be
and
the
it's going to be a movie that
finally...
we're sure of.
Yeah,
that's
it's
gonna
going to
be
be a movie where
awesome,
we're like,
and it's
oh my
gonna
God, it's
be-
going to be so amazing. And then we're going to show up and be like, why did we do that?
Oh my God, E.T. sucks. E.T. phone home. E.T. get the fuck out.
Honestly, I haven't watched ET since the 90s, and I don't want to.
I don't want.
to.
I have very vivid memories of E.T. being amazing. Like when I first watched it as a kid in the 80s, whenever I watched it, I remember crying.
Yeah, no, it was amazing.
Yeah,
And now I'm like,
and
I
I
don't
could
wanna
not. That would crush me if that, like Goonies,
know.
that would crush me if that movie sucked.
Okay, weird thing. I watched Goonies many, many years ago for like the second or third time, and I was like, okay, it came on TV probably about 15 years ago, and I watched it again, and I still liked it at that point. So I was like, shit, what we should do Goonies if you
We
haven't
should
seen
do
it.
Goonies. I
We
haven't seen it in
should.
a while.
I haven't seen it in probably 15
I must have
years.
watched it though as a be about the same for me, but I must have seen it at least 30 times.
I did not watch it 30 times, but I have watched it like 5 or 6. So, I mean,
And if that movie sucks, I will be. There are some movies that I would be crushed if they sucked,
yeah.
and that's one of them. E.T.'s one of them. Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark's one of them.
Yes.
Any of those original ones, original 3.
Yeah. Well, you're not a Crystal Skull fan?
I didn't mind it. I
didn't mind it either.
No, it was okay. It wasn't my favorite Indiana Jones, but I didn't
no.
mind it.
I
It
know
was-
some people lost their minds about it, and I was
I
like,
know.
"Guys,
It wasn't.
it's
I'm
fine."
like, it's not that bad.
No, it wasn't even bad. It just wasn't that good.
Yeah, it wasn't up to the other 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's not a
But
bad
it's still
movie. It's kind of
Indiana Jones.
entertaining.
It's still okay.
Yeah. It was so
People send
weird.
me death threats.
Yeah, people were getting real emotional about that. I'm like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah. It's still, yeah.
Like,
Okay, so
anyways,
our next movie, which will be on next Friday, which is Good Friday, and then the podcast would come out on Sunday, which is Easter Sunday, and it is going to be Saved from 2004. I think I have seen this.
Yeah.
This is a Anna pick.
It
This is one of
is.
her picks. I don't remember it. I know of it. I know
Yeah.
the actors and everything. But I don't remember watching it. I must have watched this movie. Let's share this and we'll watch the trailer. What do you remember about Say? Because I'll be honest, I don't remember anything.
So I think it's probably been about 10 years since I've seen it. So it has been a bit of a while. And when I saw it on Prime, I was like, I am not going to watch you, even though I'm pretty sure I love you, because I want to watch it for the podcast. So I remember quite a bit. I've only seen it like maybe 2 times because this is not something that played, but it made such an impression on me. I remember a lot of the movie, and like it's so good. So good and funny.
Well, the cast is
Funny as
great.
fuck. Oh God, the cast is amazing.
Yeah, because I was just looking at it a bit to try to find the trailer. Yeah, well, and like I said, I don't remember anything, and I'm not 100% that I've seen it. So hopefully, when I watch the trailer here, I'm going to remember.
I remember a stupid amount about the story, and it's amazing.
All right, so let's watch Saved from 2004 for our Easter podcast. I think we have never done an Easter movie before, have we?
No, we
Not
haven't.
that there's a ton out there to do.
No, but this one was landing so late, and it kind of has like Christian vibes. So I was like, this is perfect. Let's Good Friday this shit.
All right. Let's watch it.
All right. Who's down with G.O.D.?
I know what you're looking at, Mary. And Jesus does too.
I still don't think he's supposed to be white.
Of course he's white. Oh, gosh.
Are you talking? Because I can hear you.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
So, scared of being seen with a cripple.
Are you playing footsies with me?
Wheelies.
Do you want to go out sometime? I'm like totally adorable.
I'm not dating right now.
What about tomorrow night? You be dating then?
Is it possible Jesus might need us to do his will by, not waiting?
I'm concerned about Mary, and I think that you could help her.
I mean, like Shooter.
No, I was thinking of something a little less gangster.
You are backsliding into the flames of hell. You're performing an exorcism? Yes, we are. I am filled with Christ's love.
You didn't tell me Pastor Skip was so nice.
Mom, what's shaking, Skip? Secondhand smoke kills.
I'm counting on it.
Jenna Malone, Mandy Moore, Macaulay Culkin, Patrick Fugit, Heather Matarazzo, Eva Amori, Martin Donovan, Mary Louise Parker.
Jesus!
Saved.
Yes, I think I have seen this. A lot of it looks familiar.
Yeah.
But it would have been 2004, probably the last time I saw it. Then I probably saw it, rented it, and that was the last time I saw
and
it.
then just kept it moving.
Yeah, it's what I kind of remember. Yeah, I don't think I hated it or anything. It looked funny.
It wasn't a huge like blockbuster. Like
No.
there was a little bit of fanfare, and then it like stopped. And then it kind of disappeared. So it got harder as it didn't really air on TV that often. And when it did, it was usually at really weird times. But every time I came across it, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, I'll watch it. Very rarely showed up. But as someone who grew up Catholic, and it has not the greatest relationship with the church, but I love you, Jesus. This movie kind of really spoke to me because there's a lot of hypocrisy in Christianity, and this one points out all the hypocrisy and makes it funny.
Well, I do kind of remember Mandy Moore being the crazy,
oh my god,
over the top religious.
She's like super Christian Barbie.
Yeah,
and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I like Macaulay Culkin. I like all the actors in it. Yeah, no, it looks funny. I think I'm gonna like it. Yeah,
fantastic. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like it. God, if I don't, I'm gonna be very, very sad.
All right. Well, when we come back from next week, we will review Saved. Anything to add to New Jack City?
Nope, I think I said it all.
No, me neither. Yeah, so we have a solid rent it and a buy at a discount. Is kind of where I'm sitting at, because I did. And I'm not angry at it. If I was upset, I wouldn't lie to anybody.
No, you wouldn't.
And try to get them to buy it as a cruel joke.
You'd be screaming it from the rooftops if you spent the money and you're mad about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming back to 1991 to watch New Jack City. And until the next movie we remember liking.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.